Day, Mweri Mwoki, good morning. Matters World Diabetes Day as Kenya joins the rest of the world in celebrating this day. Can you kindly tell us what we expect from this conference in terms of what the government is doing to ensure that the fight, to end diabetes in the country is successful?
Good morning to you, Brenda, and we come into you live from the Crown Plaza Hotel, where Sanofi is organizing something to commemorate the World Diabetes Day. And remember that, Brenda, the focus this year is on family and the role they can play in management, in prevention of diabetes. And it has been said that 1 out of every 2 people who have diabetes do not even know that they have it. So with me, I have Peter Munyasi, the General Manager of Sanofi East Africa Hub, who's going to tell us more about this day and what they are doing to commemorate this day. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Today is World Diabetes Day. It's a very important day in the calendar of the year. This is when we take stock of our efforts in trying to fight the diabetes. Diabetes is a growing problem in the world and also here in Kenya. Just to give you some numbers, in 1980s, we had almost 1 million people in the world living with diabetes. But right now, based on the International Diabetes Federation numbers, we have close to 420 million people living with diabetes. Okay. In Kenya alone, we have close to 500 people with diabetes, and this is really a huge number of people who are living with diabetes. Okay. Yeah.
So a study released recently says that even most parents do not know the warning sign of diabetes in their children. Well,
diabetes is it's a non-communicable disease, and usually most non-communicable disease, the onset, there are no obvious signs during the onset. So it's possible that you may miss out the signs for diabetes, but it's important to know that the only way you can tell whether you are diabetic or not is to get tested. So it's important for all members of the public to just maybe have an opportunity to just get tested for diabetes from the nearest center of health.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the gap in healthcare when it comes to management of diabetes. We only have about 12 specialists in the country.
Well, I think that is one of the challenges that we are faced with as a nation, and not just Kenya, but also Africa. Now, with 12 endocrinologists, these are specialists in management of diabetes, and we have an incidence or prevalence of about 500,000. It's obvious that not all these patients can be able to access the 12 endocrinologists. And also knowing that the 12 endocrinologists are mainly around Nairobi or the urban centers, and diabetes actually is all over. It affects everyone, does not discriminate. It affects the young, the old, it affects the affluent, the less affluent, it affects the women and men. So you find that the disease is spread, and most of the people living with diabetes end up in care or in the hands of general practitioners. And these general practitioners are hungry for information. They want to really have expertise in terms of management of diabetes so that they have quality output in management of the patients. And this is actually one of the things that actually triggered our initiative to partner with the International Diabetes Federation, Kenya Diabetes Study Group, Diabetes Kenya, and with the endorsement of the Minister of Health, roll out a training for 2,000 doctors on management of diabetes in Kenya. Yeah.
So once these practitioners have graduated from this training, are they going to be based in Nairobi or spread across the country?
Well, the training is a training for doctors. It's actually on a digital platform, so there's no movement of doctors from their station. They're able to take their training from their station. And it covers all the 47 counties of Kenya. And so far, majority of them have completed the course, and they're able to continue with their practice from their station. So we believe that they're going to have it's going to impact their practice, will have better treatment outcome for their patients.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what will it take for us as a country to introduce treatment or management or rather screening of diabetes so that when you walk into a health facility with symptoms, among the first line of tests that are run, we have diabetes being tested?
I think the biggest impact will come at the point of self-awareness. Each person needs to take responsibility of their health and to know that you need to really get tested for diabetes. And once you are tested, if you are not diabetic, then you need to adapt a healthy lifestyle so that you can prevent possibilities of getting especially diabetes type 2. And for those who test positive, there's this hope. For those who are able to achieve control in terms of diabetes, they're able to live a normal, healthy life, and their lifestyle will not change significantly. So it actually calls for individuals to take their health as personal responsibility. Yeah.
So what are some of the risk factors of diabetes?
The obvious risk factor is about weight, and it's also about unhealthy lifestyle. Of course, maybe abuse of alcohol. It could also trigger that diabetes. But we also have a type of diabetes which is mainly genetic predisposition. Yeah. So, but for the most common diabetes, which is diabetes type 2, if you're able to adapt a healthy lifestyle, then you significantly reduce the incidence or the chances of you getting diabetic.
Okay.
Yeah.
So finally, tell us about diabetes, your type.
Well, this is one initiative by Sanofi just to reach out to the public, to let especially people who are diabetic and the public to know that each individual has a tailored kind of management of diabetes. The management of diabetes will differ maybe from person to person, and it's important to ensure that you have tailored kind of management of diabetes to achieve the best outcome. And it's one of those initiatives that we are doing as a company at Sanofi to improve the awareness, to create awareness, to sensitize the community on the issues around diabetes so that people can take self-responsibility in trying to combat or support in the fight against diabetes.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir. So then now you have it, Brenda. We are keeping tabs on this story, and we will keep you updated as the story develops. Brenda.